Today's installation is one that many Foxbody owners absolutely fear doing, but it's almost a rite of passage if you own a Foxbody. If you haven't replaced your heater core yet, at some point you're going to have to, and today we're going to show you how. The heater core overall is a pretty simple part. These are less than $40. There's really nothing to the piece itself. The issue is the labor. If you're paying someone to install a heater core for you, you're gonna spend some money because it is very time consuming, but it's not that difficult. You just have to take your time with the installation. Now, what does the heater core do? Basically, this takes coolant from the engine, circulates it through this, and creates heat inside the car. The blower motor is attached, blows air through this, that's what makes heat inside your car. So how do you know if the heater core is bad? Couple reasons. You can lose heat, which isn't always the heater core, but usually is. A lot of times though, you'll start seeing fog on your window, and then the obvious one is when you get coolant on the carpet on the passenger side. What happens is these things start leaking, and as the coolant circulates through the heater core, it drips to the heater box and then drips on your floor. Once it starts doing that, you know the heater core is gonna have to be replaced. Like I said, this is a time-consuming job, but not terribly difficult. So let's get started, and we'll show you how to do it. Now, the installation we're going to show you today is going to be for your 87 through 93 Mustang with factory air conditioning. If you have an AC delete, factory AC delete car, it installs a lot easier. Basically, you drop your glove box and the heater core is right there. But with the air conditioning cars, you have to work with a much larger box behind the dash, and that's what takes the time to get to. Now, our 90LX shows the obvious sign of a bad heater core. The entire passenger floor is damp and wet from leaking antifreeze. Definitely gonna need a be replacement. We're gonna start with the interior by removing the kick panels, door sill plates, and then the console. On the door sill plate, you can remove the whole thing if you want, but if you take just this front one out here, lift this out of the way, pull the clip, pop that off. The same thing on the other side. Okay, now we're gonna pop off the speaker cover here. I'm gonna pop this vent off. All right, now remove these screws across the top of the dash. Open our glove box. Lower that down. Remove these screws. I got Brendan on the driver's side. He's going to remove the lower dash trim. All right, the trim piece off, now remove the metal lower dash piece underneath it. Okay, now remove the trim around our HVAC controls. Remove the shifter boot. Remove the shift knob and shift boot. Now remove these two screws. Now our car is a console delete, so we're just gonna pop this cover off. If you have the console, just remove the bolts, and then remove these two screws back here. Now we can remove the console plate. And remove these two screws underneath. There's two more on this side of the console, then we can remove the entire console. Make sure you unplug the trunk release and any stereo wiring. All right, Brendan's working over on the driver's side now. What we have to do is remove this brace from the lower part of the metal dash. That'll drop down our hood release, and then we can unbolt the column and lower that down as well. Right, now remove the two 15mm nuts that hold on the support for our hood release. All right, and then get the 15mm nuts, and that'll allow us to lower the column. There's two towards the firewall and two underneath that last bracket. All right, the column down, there's one bolt on the pedal box you'll see. You can loosen that up, you don't have to remove it, and that'll allow us to slide the dash outward. All right, now down behind the kick panel, there's gonna be a bolt on each side for the dash. Now I'm gonna do the same thing, but I'm gonna disconnect all these wiring harnesses here first. That'll give us some more room. Now once you remove the bolt from the kick panel, you're gonna reach underneath the heater box. This will be impossible for us to show you. Reach up underneath and there's one 11mm bolt that holds the bottom of the heater box to the firewall. Okay, now we have enough play to pull the dash out and we can see our heater box. All right, after all that, we've now found the heater box. And this is where our heater core is, right inside here. There's a screw here, and then two more under the dash. So what we have to do now is unbolt the box so we can bring it towards us. To do that though, first thing we're gonna do is go under the hood, disconnect the heater hoses. First thing we're gonna do is disconnect these two hoses here. These are the ones that actually go to the heater core. Now, I should mention, if these hoses are older, replace them when you replace the heater core. In our case, we just put these on a year ago, so we know they're in good shape, so they're fine. But again, this is the perfect time to replace these hoses. Now when these come off, depending on the condition of your heater core, you might get a little coolant out. So put a drip pan down, but it shouldn't gush. Now this part's a little tricky because we're gonna show you how to do this without having to discharge your air conditioning. We have to remove this piece off the bracket. To start by removing the nut, there's one there and the other one is back behind here. Slide it off and there'll be other nuts underneath. The nuts underneath are the ones that hold the actual HVAC box to the firewall. Now this part you have to mess with a little bit, but there is enough play to pull out on the bracket and get it off the studs. Be one of several places you will curse during this installation. All right, now back inside behind the dash, remove these two bolts. Okay, now we're gonna pop the lid off here. This part will be a little bit challenging. You will probably swear here, yes. Now, if your air conditioning doesn't work, you can simply unbolt the other side of the box here, and this will be a lot easier. But if your air conditioning does work, which it does in our car, we're gonna do it this way so we don't have to get it recharged. Now the last bolt, this one is, say, the last screw, is the hardest to get to. You don't have to remove this one all the way though. Be careful, just get it about halfway out. That way we don't have to worry about trying to put it back in. That should give us enough clearance, get everything out of the way here. There's our heater core. You can see here the original heater core. You can tell by this, obviously this is right where it was leaking. This is why I was making a mess on our carpet and why we didn't have any heat. All right, we're gonna put our new heater core in. Now the one thing you wanna be careful of in this step, and especially in the later step, is once you put this on, these edges where these pipes connect to the heater core, they're more fragile than you think. The very first time I ever did a heater core years and years ago, got the whole installation done, went to tighten the hose, and this snapped off. So again, be very, very careful. Watch when you're putting this through the firewall, get someone on the other side to help you out. And when you put the hoses on, again, be very, very careful. These do not put a lot of pressure on them. Now, if your core leaks really badly, it's not a bad idea just to clean the box up as much as you can before we put the new one in. Okay, now carefully put the new core in. And then we're going to reinstall the screws for the lid. All right, first thing to do back here is install the nuts for the heater box. Put a little silicone spray on there, just make it easier to put the hoses on. All right, the hose is connected, and Brendan's gonna reinstall the bracket. I'm gonna start on the interior. All right, now we're gonna lift the dash back in place. There's a stud right here in the middle. Use that as your alignment tab to get the dash seated properly. Okay, the heater core in place and the box bolted back on. Everything we did, just do it backwards. Reinstall the dash, reinstall the console, reinstall the kick panels, put everything back together. All right, once everything's back together in the interior under the hood, you're gonna top the coolant off and your installation's finished. The heater core is a job a lot of Fox owners don't wanna do. If you watch how we did it, it really isn't that bad. You don't have to evacuate the air conditioning, and if you take your time, it really is just tedious. It's not that difficult to do. Give yourself about 4 hours or so. You'll need basic hand tools. You'll be back on the road in no time. Hey guys, hope you enjoyed that video. Make sure you click on the CJ button so you subscribe for future videos, and click the corner up here for more videos for your Mustang.